Hello. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Ontario Time Attacks. What do I call? What
It's
did
the
I call
it's
the
what
series again?
we called it, or you called it rather, the Super
Hello.
Sunday Super Cup.
Hello.
Hello, everybody. I am Jordan Mazugli, and Joshua Cronin is with me here, commentating this
Hello.
evening. Today, I guess, is February 6th, apparently. So that means we
It is.
have CTMP, and
We
that
do.
little schedule is incorrect. We do have a TCR car, but it ain't a Seat. It is its corporate cousin, the Volkswagen GTI.
True. Yeah, that's true. Let me elaborate a little bit. We made a switch from the Seat TCR to the Volkswagen Golf TCR because we have faced issues with the Seat TCR model. Not a big deal. All the drivers swapped over. Nobody really seemed to have an issue as we drove it in our sister league we do, the Monday Sim Day, presented by DriverMod, and they enjoyed it last Monday, so we decided to switch over to this car, so that way it still is TCR, still a front-wheel drive, and still a lot of fun because we know it handles well. Today's also a big race for multiple reasons. Number one, we're at our home track, Canadian Tire Motorsports Park, Canada's legendary home of motorsports. But also because this is the final round of the front wheel drive championship.
Yeah, after
And
this,
so this will determine prizes.
Yeah, after this, it's going to be all rear drivers and all-wheel drivers. So
That's true.
anybody who likes their understeer, this is going to be a swan song for them. So hopefully it goes well, and yeah, they enjoy the race.
I
We'll
guess
get
I'll just. Well,
Go
sorry,
ahead.
no, go ahead.
No,
I
no,
don't know
go ahead.
if you want to cut. You can go ahead and cut to the
Yeah, well,
actual
let's let's
race if
well,
you
let's
want.
let's cut into qualifying now. Drivers
Okay.
are kind of turning the track here. Got about 50 minutes and 35 seconds left of the race, so they're just doing their thing. Josh, go ahead. What were you going to bless us with?
Well, I was just gonna say this should be an interesting round. Currently leading our we don't have a graphic to pull up, but currently leading our front wheel drive standings. Doug Newman has 30 points, Val has 29, and McGaggs has 28. So it's going to be a competition between those three to win it. Of course, if one of those guys fails to finish within the top three, somebody else could win it. A couple things. Nathan Hodgins is in fourth. Joseph Yang is in fifth.
Very, very tightly contested
Should be
then.
interesting.
Absolutely. So very tightly contested. Yeah, a lot of the top three drivers are only a point apart, so their finishing position in this race is going to be very key to determining those prizes. So this one should be an exciting one. Obviously, this being our home track, CTMP, a lot of drivers very familiar with the layout and really how to kind of get the most out of pretty much any car around this track. So it's going to be very interesting here. Since a lot of drivers are so comfortable, I think we're going to see a very, very competitive field today.
Good. It should be differently interesting. This CTMP is a very flowing track, and so this tends to do well with the touring cars because you get through a lot of high speed corners, and the touring cars don't weigh anything, so you can kind of just chuck them through the corners, and it leads to a lot of close racing and some pretty. At least lapping it's pretty fun, but the racing's pretty fun too. So hopefully we'll see that shine through to today. We saw it do well on Monday, so I don't see why it wouldn't do well today. Literally
Absolutely.
the same car and track.
Yep. Yeah. No. That's it's gonna be really good. Obviously, you know the typical spots for passing through the S's here, through turn 8, turn 9, and the last corner. These are usually very hotly contested for passing. Might see a couple sends into turn 2. See Randy kind of just zipping around there and into turn 3. But yeah, it's gonna be very, very interesting to see overall. I mean, some drivers try to make the run into turn 5 if they're feeling daring or ballsy, let's say. But yeah, it's going to be very, very interesting to see where the strategies play out and kind of those kind of key passing zones, especially through the first opening laps and you know, just trying to gain track position.
100%. The drivers seem to really. Oh, Randy is pulling to the runoff of turn 5. Drivers seem to really be enjoying the way these cars drove. A lot of people are saying they very much enjoyed it. So I'm looking forward to today's race. Touring cars around here historically, both in the real world and the sim, has been pretty fun. And this is a track where generally the racing has always been good, regardless of what series or what car we've done it with Ontario Time Attack. So I expect nothing less than a great race. In terms of the strategy, Thomas, you're not Thomas, you're Jordan. Jordan, do you know much about the strategy? I was talking with some of the drivers. I know a little bit. I didn't know if you had anything.
Yeah, so I guess my brief discussions, I was kind of chatting with them as they were going through a race sim. And I believe what's going to happen is the front tires tend to really fall off towards the end of your hour 40-minute stint. So we're probably going to be seeing front tire changes. at minimum.
I got to
you know,
change
with
all
these
4
being,
of them.
yeah, well, yeah, I guess. Can you do axles on a set of
No,
Corsa?
you
Or
can
you have to
only,
do all
you
4?
can only do, you have to go to a full set.
Well, there you go. So I guess we're
Well,
gonna
there you
see
go.
full set changes because, I mean, really,
Full sets
these
are quite
being
quick, actually.
TCR cars and being front-wheel drive, and this is such a fast-flowing track. The rears actually don't see too much action. Like a lot of the load is just set on the front wheels, right? Because they're tasked with, you know, turning the car into the corners as well as, you know, putting the power down, right? And because we do have such fast-flowing corners while you're basically turning in while you're on power. There's a lot more strain on the tires here than let's say a tighter, more technical track. Where, you know, you'll turn in, be off the throttle, and then trying to get on the power afterwards. These fast flowing corners tend to kind of heat cycle the tires more because your sustained cornering loads are much higher. So it's gonna be very interesting to see. I imagine some drivers are gonna try the no tire strategy and see how it plays out, but might get dicey towards the end. So we'll see how the pace differences are as we're riding along with Val Di Pietro here, who's got pole position currently, just coming down the back straight here. And we'll see how he goes through the S's. So just under the Canadian Tire bridge here. And into the S's.
The other thing too, Jordan, is I was talking with some of the drivers, and fuel seems to be an interesting issue because it's actually not really an issue around here. A lot of drivers are basically saying that physically the car can actually go a full race distance on a tank, but they just don't really want to, because it kind of adversely affects the handling that they're talking about. So a lot of drivers are doing 1 or 2 stops just on the concept of bringing less fuel with them.
Yeah, I've heard that as well, because the tank is located in the rear of the car and it's quite large. What ends up happening is, you know, you lose that weight distribution over the front of the vehicle. So as you tip in, you end up getting more understeer with a heavier load, along with obviously a little loss in straight line speed with the weight itself. It's just because of the distribution of the weight ends up hurting you more versus running a little bit of a lighter load. Is when you trail brake the car, you can kind of get more of that weight over the front wheels, and it helps the car turn in and get around the track a little bit nicer versus just kind of, you know, running a full load of fuel and just kind of going out that way.
Yeah, pretty much. A lot of drivers are talking about the tires for this particular mod, because this car is not stocked with, of course. The tires for this particular mod actually are extremely quick. I was reading about like 4 seconds for a full set. So tires don't really matter. A lot of time is going to be spent on the fuel, which will definitely be interesting. I was told the car fuels at around 1 liter per second, which is not that fast.
No.
When you factor in the amount of fuel they're taking. So some people, there was a lot of different talking strategies. Some people were thinking of starting with a lot of fuel and then maybe trying to splash at the end to also get some tires. Some people were thinking about evenly splitting it up. Some people were thinking about just taking the fuel the whole way. We'll really see who's the fastest this time. It'll be interesting. It'll be an interesting breakdown for, especially for the end of the front-wheel drive Cup 2. If we look at... Hang on. I have my spreadsheet somewhere. If we look at our front-wheel drive Cup, the points gaps are pretty close because there's only one other front-wheel drive race. The other thing, too, also is that the front-wheel drive and the rear-wheel drive Cup are scored off of just pure finishing position, not including bonuses for, clean races or for bottom 5 incident points. So it's even closer, too. Basically, every place that you fail to attain affects your championship position outcome. But at the end of the day, for at least the front-wheel drive and the rear-wheel drive championships, the only position that really matters is first, because first is the only one that gets the prize. Now, our current leader, Doug Newman, he's qualified 5th, so either he's struggling for speed, or, well, 5th ain't even that bad, but he's got a little bit of work to do if he wants to come home with it. As it stands, to win the championship, Val, our pole sitter, only has to beat him. He needs to score 1 more point than him, and he will tie.
Absolutely, and I think in the case of a tie, it goes on countback. Val getting all of his
it would be an awkward situation with it. It would be an awkward situation for the countback because it would go back to number of wins, which they would both have had 1. But go back to number of second places, of which they both would have had 1. Then it would go back to number of third places. Well, they've only done 2 races. So then it goes back to most consistent. Let me double check my ruling, because I believe it does go back to most consistent.
Yeah, well, we look at that. I mean, riding along board with Val here, I mean, very, very strong lap time. Although Joseph Yang's actually gotten much closer now, 122.252. So he's kind of bringing it down as well. So I'm sure it's going to be very exciting as these drivers kind of try to fight for those last tenths. I know Val was saying briefly that he may be able to find a 21 in it. Like, there's definitely that pace in there to kind of get into the 21s. So it's just a matter of whether or not he can actually extract that speed at this car. But yeah, very, very strong at the front, very tight. Michael Gaglione and Doug Newman separated by hundredths of a second, so you know, not much in it there. Even as we get down into the midfield, a lot of them are in the 23s. We got a couple drivers in the 24s, basically from 20th onwards. Alex Milo, Giuliano Tretto, Randy Zimmer, Jason Selly, and Alex Sherrod, all in the 24s or slower. But I'm sure they're going to get those time downs as well as the last 6 minutes of qualifying kind of roll along here. But yeah, really, really close field, obviously, as a lot of these drivers are very familiar with Canadian Tire Motorsport Park. So as we roll through this, we got some trouble.
Oh, trouble. Doug Newman is upside down in turn 2. He hit the wall so hard. He has rolled up. He's out of the ballpark.
Yep, he's
there
gone.
He goes.
He is gone.
Here he goes. Also, I did in fact just verify, and it does go back on count back of first, second, third, and then most consistent. Val is the most consistent overall, so Val simply has to finish higher than Doug Newman to secure the championship. Well, I mean, he also has to beat the person. He has to beat the person in third in the championship, who is going to be read in a second when I find it. Gags. So he has to beat Gags by 2 places. He has to beat Nathan by 3 places. Or rather, let me try. So hang on. We'll do a points breakdown. It's quite simple.
We're gonna do this.
It's linear. All right. If Joseph Yang, let's just do the top 5. If Joseph Yang wants to win the front-wheel drive championship, he has to finish 5 places ahead of Doug, 4 places ahead of Val, 3 ahead of Gags, and 2 ahead of Nathan. Right?
Yeah.
Or sorry, 4 ahead of Doug, 3 ahead of Val, 2 ahead of Michael, and then he just has to beat Nathan. If Nathan wants to win it, he has to beat Gags by 1 place, Val by 2 places, Doug by 3 places. If Gags wants to win it, he has to beat Val and to be 2 places ahead of Doug. He might actually have to be, let me double check, he might actually have to be ahead by 2 places, because I don't know if he's most consistent on the countback.
Yeah, very interesting. So it's going to be just kind of trying to...
If we have a tie, I will work this out during the actual race itself.
Yes, we will go to break, and then you can figure it out. So obviously, speaking of breaks, not going to go to break yet, obviously, as we got 4 minutes left of quali. But just want to thank our sponsors. You know, obviously Ontario Time Attack for having us put this on every week for you guys. They've been a huge part of making this series happen. So we thank Ontario Time Attack. In addition, HIP Motorsports, of course, sim racing studio based in Ajax. We thank them for sponsoring this and providing some prizes and some support as well for putting this on. In addition, for the prizes and promotional consideration, thanks to 13 Motorsports, as well as Adrena Garage, both automotive shops in the GTA area. 13 Motorsports based in Brampton and Adrena based in Oakville. We thank them for providing prizes as well as some promotional support. So we appreciate our sponsors, and yeah, going down to 3 minutes and 20 seconds of qualifying left. And it looks like Nathan is kind of nosed into Joseph Yang rather here. 200 separate the two. Val still in the lead there with a 120.180. Thomas actually kind of doing real good to get down to low 22s as well.
Yeah, speaking of which, Nathan actually does have, I'm just running the points right now, Nathan actually does have the advantage going into this, with these tiebreakers for the Front Wheel Drive Cup. Nathan has the lowest average of the top 5. Nathan has a .61 with an average standard deviation across all rounds. Whereas Val has a .78, Doug has a .83. So basically, as long as Nathan can tie anybody in the top 5, he will at least gain a place. So if he ties Doug Newman for the win, or on wins. Well, actually, in that case, I think Doug would win on. Well, actually, we'd have to depend on where Doug finished. Lots
Yeah,
up
at
in
the
the air. A
points.
lot's up in
Yeah,
the air.
lots going
A
on. I
lot
guess
is
we'll
up
have
in
to
the
see
air.
as the race unfolds and where it sits.
It sounds like a dumb statement, but we won't actually know until finishing orders are counted in. Because the priority is number of first places, number of seconds, number of thirds. So even if you're a more consistent driver, if the other guy's finished second twice, you've only finished second once, he wins it. It'll be interesting.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, that's the thing with having these points stacked so close together. Not like other series, let's say like Formula One, where first
Large
place is
point gaps, yeah.
25 points and second is 18 points and then third is 15 points and then kind of down from there, right, as the places kind of get further away from from first place rather, then those points get further together, sorry, closer together. The gap from first to second is obviously very far apart, right? So if you do have a lot of wins, it prioritizes that, and you can kind of open up a much larger advantage versus this, where a position is a point. So if you
Yep.
get a second place or a third place, it's not the end of the world. You're still very close to the guy who's in the lead, and it basically it just keeps the championship closer together, more exciting, and really kind of, I guess, drives home the importance of consistency. Even if you're not getting the wins every single race, as long as you can consistently stay within top 5 over the entire race series, versus let's say somebody who's won a couple but has had really bad luck in some other races or some incidences, you can finish ahead of them just on the basis of consistency, right? Because the points are so close together. So yeah.
Yeah,
28
and that's
seconds
kind of how
left.
the it's kind of how the points the points were structured like that intentionally, so that at the end of the day, even the event of ties, which is likely with this points format, the most consistent drivers would be awarded. That's why we even have a most consistent championship.
Absolutely. Looks like Michael Gaglione just going through his final lap there. And he puts it on pole.
Oh,
Michael
out of
Gaglione,
nowhere.
a absolute ripper of a lap, a 122.133. So at the last possible second, just before qualifying runs down to 0, Michael Gaglione puts it on pole with a 122.133, just pipping Val there. So I'm sure Val felt a lot better about his time when he pitted there, and just wasn't expecting Michael Gaglione to just kind of come in and pip him for that pole position. So great job by Michael there to kind of take that pole position at the last possible second.
Yeah, just an incredible drive, and probably gonna sting a little bit for Val because he was in the pits for that last little bit. He probably thought he had it in the bag. Do you want me to do the starting grid?
Yeah, let's do the grid rundown.
Let's go to grid rundown. We got a big grid today. Michael Gaglione on the pole, stealing the pole in the last 20 seconds of qualifying. We have the Pietro, the former pole sitter. He's going to sit second, but he does have the preferred line going into turn 1. Joseph Yang is in third, contender for the front wheel drive championship. In addition, with Nathan Hodgins, he's in fourth. Thomas Langill, he's in fifth. Doug Newman, he's in sixth. Michael Cassier, he's in seventh. Brady, he's in eighth. Jackson's in ninth. Walter's in 10th. Matt Alexander's in 11th. Daniel's in 12th. Philip is in third. Nope, he's in 13th. Let me try that again. Leslow's in 14th. Paul's in 15th. Brett's in 16th. Anthony's in 17th. Lee Larson is in 18th.
And just
Giuliano's
as
in
you'll
19th
notice,
and
just want
rolling
to
backwards.
notice here, just to kind of point out, we can see as we kind of move back into the lower places here, they actually start in the last corner. So now looking at Giuliano here in 19th place, they're in turn 10. So it's going to be an interesting standing start for them.
Oh, it's not going to be fun. I
For
can
sure.
guarantee it.
In 20th place
Back in
here.
in 20th, my pick, he's going to win this race again. He's gonna go 1 for 3. It's Gerald Nemhard. Dimitri Mochkin is in 21st. Alex Milos in 22nd. Randy Zimmer, the Zoomer, is in 23rd. Jason's in 24th. Jason Seeley, because I've been pronouncing his name wrong the entire time, and he made fun of me after the broadcast. And Alex Sherrod is in 25th. He is starting way ahead of you of the leaders, but it's definitely going to be fun.
Yeah, so if we kind of take a look here, if I actually can go to the free cam here and
They are
zoom,
so far behind.
the leaders are like that way. Very, very far behind. I think if we can jump to Lee
Alex
Larson here,
actually,
you can kind of
from
see, or maybe even Brett, the
from where
distance
he
there.
is,
They're way up the road.
the last row cannot see the start.
Absolutely not.
Well, that's fun. And luckily, these front-wheel drive cars will turn really well.
Absolutely.
They won't. Well, on the start, they won't.
So we will get
25
the
seconds
TV
remaining.
cam, and I will try to get a good angle here if I can get it. Just keep cycling through till we get a...
What are we doing? There they are. What are you doing?
Cycling through the cameras.
Oh, we're getting good. 10 seconds. The lights have shown up on screen.
Lights
1
are
light,
going
2
up.
lights, 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights, 6 lights. And we're racing.
Michael Gaglione seems to get a pretty good start, although Val gets an excellent jump. He's going to have to... Yeah, no, Michael gets away clean. Covers off the inside as battle for third there is hotting up real good already. Val's all over Michael here going into turn 2. Riding along with Michael Gaglione as there's a whole, I guess.
Oh, Matt Alexander gets sideways in turn 2. Oh, no, a
Phil's out.
huge
Oh,
crash.
jeez. Oh, man. We got
Daniel's
5,
involved.
6.
Phil's involved. Oh, 6
geez.
cars.
6-car
they're
pileup
still
there.
wrecking.
They're still
They're
wrecking.
still wrecking.
Oh,
They're wrecking
oh
in
goodness.
3. Oh, man.
There's Dimitri now down. Oh, man. Turn 3 just kind of ate him up and spat him out.
Oh, man.
Going back to the lead here at the front. Gaglione now kind of exiting 5B and onto the Andretti straight. How do these things draft?
They draft pretty good because the cars don't weigh anything and they don't have a ton of power. The issue is that we're also in Assetto Corsa, and if we've learned anything from Assetto Corsa, it's that Assetto Corsa doesn't like draft.
That is true. That's why I asked. And Val seemed to get a good run there with the draft. Kind of going to go outside to the yeses. Checks up a little bit, but the great thing about moving on to the outside there through the S's, you can kind of force your way through turn 9 as somebody goes off there. I think it's Joseph Yang.
Oh, Joseph Yang is in the pits.
He might
have jumped the start.
Oh,
man.
Oh,
no.
Tough run for Joseph, who started in 3rd place now, having to drop back, I mean, probably all the way to the kind of last few positions.
That is heartbreaking. That is likely his championship, if at least in the front-wheel drive sense, written off with that move. Absolutely heartbreaking. These cars don't have a clutch. That's such a shame.
Absolutely. I mean, really hard, especially these opening laps. You know, the pack is still so tight together that, you know, if you do take a penalty with the drive-through, you're losing all of the positions, really.
Yeah, you're losing a lot of places.
Absolutely. Doug Newman and Jackson Olivier going at it. Jackson up into 6th place and Doug dropping back through 5B now onto the back stretch. We'll check in with Val again because he's kind of right on Gags again.
Oh, Giuliano and Daniel have gone off in the last corner.
God, 5.
Oh, no. Oh, it's Giuliano,
jumping around like crazy.
Trouble. Yeah, what was that?
That was some strange stuff. We'll jump in with Val, who's now side by side again into turn 8 here. Gonna make it stick on the outside, gets it done, and he'll have the inside for turn 9. Just slides right through, and Val is now our new race leader. Textbook, arguably.
Val leads the
S's
line. These guys are going to be battling hard too, especially because these top 3 are all in contention to win the front-wheel drive championship. So we're going to see the racing quite hard. Nathan throwing a block. Val goes right. Oh, sorry, Nathan goes
slips through. Based on, I guess, Nathan going really wide there through turn 1. Luckily, there is some pavement there that you can use as a runoff.
Yeah.
It's not there in iRacing because that scan is from 2008.
This is the 2021 version of the track, so it's up to date. It even has the repaved road surface.
Absolutely.
It's one of the highest quality mods we can get in Assetto Corsa. It also just happens to be our home track, so it kind of shows up all the time.
Absolutely, and the creators of this mod have really kind of done a painstaking job of keeping this up to date year over year, starting in 2019. You know, they 2019 they got the laser scan data. They updated it with the new repave in 2020. And same with 2021, some more updates as well. So they've been very, very dedicated to keeping this thing up to date with the current conditions of the track. Like you said, it is laser scanned. Really, really clever way to get the laser scan data. So the government of Ontario actually has the LiDAR data of basically the entire topographic region of Ontario. So they were actually able to get aerial LiDAR data for Motorsport and then apply it to this track when modeling so they could get an accurate representation of the pavement. Now it's not obviously, you know, as accurate as, let's say, a proper kind of track laser scan, let's say with the actual kind of big laser scan machine and running across the pavement, but you know, certainly will get you 80-90% of the way there, you know, without obviously having to incur that cost of laser scanning the track yourself. So pretty smart implementation.
Yeah, honestly, I mean, there's not really much I can say about it. It's to be honest, frankly, an unnecessary level of detail. This was not required of them, but they delivered. They over-delivered in regards, and we thank them a lot for that. I wish I knew actually he worked on it. I don't know, man. I just play the video game.
Same here. I boot the computer. I play the game.
Jackson challenging for 5th, trying to get past Michael.
Doug really gonna be right on Jackson here, and he seems to be close enough to get a move done into turn 8 here with the draft. So he comes out now outside and kind of tucks back in. I wonder if he got a little nervous there. I mean, all these cars are white, so he's just trying to kind of feel it out, make his move. Is he going to try inside? Jackson's going to cover him off, and Doug is going to have to take that battle to the next lap as we kind of go through last corner here, turn 10, getting up on the curbs, using all the curbs, all the track. Yeah. I mean, you know, you are entitled to it.
A very defensive line through that last corner by Jackson. Pretty crafty. He kind of sacrifices his mid corner in 8 to defend to the inside of 9. Pretty heads up move, forcing Doug to go around the outside. Doug thought the better of it and did not. And I will say this should be interesting. I was told by drivers after about 20 laps the tires will start wearing.
Doug having a look
like a notable amount. Jackson trying to move on Michael. Doug trying to move on Jackson. Coming to the corner where it really matters, corner 5. This usually makes or breaks races.
Absolutely.
Doug dipping the wheel on entry.
Really getting in there. Oh, Michael Koiser going wide, and I think it's going to cost him his exit in a big way. Jackson's going to slip up in 5th place. Doug looking to make that move as well. Got to pick a side now. Depending on your pace, honestly, I honestly like to go outside into 8 because you can kind of slip through pretty well, and then you set yourself up to have that inside line onto turn 9. So as long as you can stay alongside of the car that's on the inside of 8, you can get it done. As we see now from Michael Koiser and Jackson, I don't think he's going to have enough pace, and Jackson's going to kind of shut the door on him. So yeah, he's just going to have to filter in behind. But yeah, the outside is not a bad move into turn 8.
100%, I'd agree. It depends. Running the outside in 8 really requires both parties to kind of be where the move's happening on, and you kind of have to have faith the other person you're racing, but it's definitely doable. Speaking of the outside in 8, Philip has not done it well. Oh, he hits the curb and...
Jeez. Not sure what happened there. I wonder if Doug and Michael Koiser had some contact there.
Oh, no.
Michael definitely getting the worst of it. Ended up sideways at turn 2. And he's going to drop down into, looks like, 11th place. So pretty costly from him, down to, from 5th just a lap ago. So, you know, seemed to save it well from turn 5 without losing too much, only a place to Jackson and being fairly close to gaining that position back. But with that contact in turn 2, that's going to hurt him.
It's unfortunate, but I fear that is one of the action spots of this track. If it tends to be contact, 2 is one of the factors. Definitely, it's just when it's blind going over the hill, so a lot of drivers don't really have faith in willing to leave space on the apex because it being so blind. They think the racetrack's somewhere that it isn't, and that might have been what happened there. I also just want to give a shout out to Jax. Or sorry, let me try and get his name right. Joseph Yang. He's already back up to 13th on that recovery drive from his drive.
Well, he's going after 12th. Very, very close to Jason Seeley here. He's going to be inside now, and oh no! Big contact.
Save it! Ooh,
oh man, good. Big contact from both drivers. I think Glavin and Joseph there, he just kind of took a little bit too much speed.
Yeah,
and Jason Jason, you know, he left enough room, but definitely not enough room for Joseph to kind of throw it in the way he did, and obviously making contact, but recovering reasonably well. Good thing about these TCRs and these front drivers is, you know, like we've said before, you know, you get sideways, more throttle, it's fine.
Yeah, you should apply gas. You solve the problem. Paul Todd has gone off in turn 3. I don't know if he was helped or did that on his own.
Not sure. Jason pushing wide out of turn 3 as well, and that's going to cost him a place. Brett Reichert now up into 11th. So a lot of movement now in the mid-pack here.
100%. These cars are, I'm not gonna lie, these cars aren't the easiest to drive around here just because there's not really any weight over the back. It makes them a little bit squirrely sometimes, which might be why we've seen so many incidents, especially turn 3 lap 1. That tends to be a hot spot.
For sure. These TCR cars require kind of a deft hand. I mean, they're a lot of fun, but like you said, I mean, if you are running with low fuel, especially to get that turn in, you have to be very deliberate with your actions turning in. You know, if you are trail braking, not to use too much trail and just trying to manage it that way. Joseph Yang back into 13th. We're right along with him now as he's going to try to chase down Jason Seeley again for that 12th place spot and see what he can do with it. So hopefully he has a little bit more patience this time and he can get it done. Let's check in with the front.
With our second place, yeah.
Battle for second seems to be hotting up a little bit. Thomas putting in some pretty good lap times and maintaining that gap to Michael Gaglione, now only half a second. Val seems to be pulling away out front a little bit with a 1.6 second gap.
Still not entirely out of reach, but notably in the lead. Val, Gags in second, Thomas is in third.
Thomas seems to get a good
Michael
run
Kosier
out of 5B and has a bit of the draft here. Now whether or not he can actually get it done into 8, I think he's a little bit too far behind, but he's just got to stick close and try to make a move either through turn 1 or something like that. So we'll see.
An interesting point of note, Dimitri just came out of the pits. He's now out in last. I can't remember where he pitted in from, but a pit stop this early is quite interesting.
I wonder if he took full fuel or at least a higher fuel.
Maybe he left his qualifying fuel.
Yeah.
Could have left the fuel in from qualifying. It's an unfortunate mistake. I think we've all made it. But you can't be making those mistakes in races like these.
For sure. Yeah, Thomas closing that gap once again. 2/10 now. Just over 2/10 going into turn 3. So I think a little bit of patience this lap. Thomas may have a chance if he gets turn 5 A and B right, getting a good exit onto the straight.
Joseph Yang back up into 12th. We're following the comeback tour. We'll check in with him intermediately.
Thomas
and Gags, they're 5.
Kind of bumper to bumper. Honestly, I find coming through 5B, it's interesting. If you're kind of following a car close behind, I find sometimes it's almost better to, you know, trail back a little bit coming into 5A and then just really focus on carrying as much speed as you can through 5B. And that way you don't have to kind of check up on exit as the driver in front of you tries to back you up. Now a 10th separates them. They're nose to tail. Thomas is going to have to throw it in as he on behind Gags here. Maybe trying to change his lineup a little bit as Michael kind of covering off the inside as best he can. Yeah, very, very exciting battle that's going to unfold over the next couple laps, I'm sure, as Thomas keeps closing that gap down pretty significantly. 2/10 faster last lap versus Michael. So I think only a matter of time before these two are absolutely side by side.
Absolutely. You got to think about how much battling like this is going to use their tires up. There's already talks that you'd have to one-stop for tires. This might be turning into a 2-stop strategy, but if they're taking less fuel on the start... well, some drivers are talking about taking more fuel on the start, though, because you can... The amount of fuel you take at the... taking more fuel at the start loses you less time than stopping and adding fuel due to the speed that they refuel the cars at. But obviously that has the benefit of... or the detriment of your car being heavier. So I don't know. It depends. I'm not sure if these guys are going to be on the lighter fuel load or the heavier fuel load.
For sure. Sitting in with Doug here.
Oh no!
Oh, Joseph Yang going off again. Oh man, at 5.
Oh, that is going to cost him
5. That's going to hurt him.
He got into Brett.
Let's sit back in with Doug as he goes outside now into 8. Let's see if he can make it stick. He's going to tuck it. Jackson's going to defend. So Doug's going to filter in behind, but Doug almost went for it there. He's going to try to, I mean, really, you got to focus on getting a really good exit at turn 10 here. Jackson's going to try to cover off the inside. Doug seems to do enough and starts to gain a little bit. Gags and Thomas. Looks like Thomas got ahead of Gaglione. They're side by side going to turn 2. Gaglione now into 3rd place. So looks like Thomas was able to get that done this lap, probably in through turn 1 there.
Eggs might have had some sort of an issue through turn 1. He's already at 7/10 down on his lap delta. Not sure what happened there. It's unfortunate. Joseph Yang should keep back up with him. Back in 17th, he kind of got together with Brett Reichert as he tried to move into 5A. A very risky spot to try and move. Joseph tried to move to the inside and kind of just didn't work. Hit the curb, bounced up into Brett. Doesn't look like Brett lost like any positions, but Joseph Yang definitely lost a ton. Back in 17th. He has to make all of that progress up again.
Shout out to my boy Gerald Nemhard, who's up in the
There he is, my pick.
place.
He's in 13th.
And,
yes.
and making really good progress, even against Jason Selly here. Pretty strong pace. He's going to tuck in inside through 5. Is he going to get it done?
Move.
Ooh, contact.
Oh, trouble.
Sends it in on the inside. Oh, beautiful move by Gerald, who kind of sends it in on Jason Selly here, who leaves the door wide open for him. We've got a whole pack of cars here, all battling for 12th place. They're 3 wide. Coming down the Andretti straight, that's something.
Oh man, hopefully this doesn't end in tears. This looks quite risky. Daniel trying to move on. I can't remember who that is back there. I think it's Lee.
Joseph Yang in the mix there as well, trying his comeback tour, take 3. Does he get past Lee Larson?
Trying to get past
Daniel
right
rather.
Now. Oh, Daniel's gonna lose out on it. And out of the preferred line.
It's gonna hurt him. Going on the outside of turn 10 really sucks.
Yeah, it really does. There's no worse feeling at this track than having to go around the outside at turn 10.
Matt Alexander going in for Jason as well. Jason Selly's gonna have the inside of turn 2, so Matt's gonna have to run wide, but seems to make it stick on the outside there, and he's gonna have the inside into turn 3 as somebody's on the grass there.
A little bit of contact between Matt and Jason. Nothing more than a love tap though. No
Absolutely.
Harm, no
Matt Alexander seems to get through clean and up into 13th now. I'm sure Jason Selly's gonna want to battle back into 5 here as he's basically nose to tail. They're scrapping, and it's only been just over 15 minutes. So yeah, nobody's pulling any punches. Gerald goes off at 5B there onto the grass, so that's going to cost him 3 positions, it looks like, down into 15th.
Oh, it's my pick.
I think Daniel's going to zip by as well. Yes, he is. So now Gerald falling.
Oh, I have terrible news. It looks like Alex Sherrod, the leaders were catching lap cars. Oh, no, I think he pulled off. I thought he crashed into the end of pit out, and I was going to make fun of him. But it looks like he just pulled off and did the nice thing, so now I look like the bad guy.
Damn, man.
Yeah.
How dare you chirp our drivers?
Yeah, for real. Well, it would have been funny.
For sure. Yeah, it would have been funny.
He's just being a nice guy instead.
Absolutely.
Wow.
Let's sit in here with Doug and Jackson, who are nose to tail once again. Doug looking for an opening through 3 here, but Jackson kind of has the preferred racing line. It's really hard to pass around this track unless you have a pretty good pace advantage in some key spots where you can actually kind of stick the car inside. Best option usually is to honestly kind of force the guy in front of you into an air of some kind, especially through turn 5 where it's easy for them to push deep, or kind of wage your chances through turn 8 in the S's. That's usually the best spot. Doug getting a really good run out of the chicane here. Seems to have the draft coming side by side. Will he be able to get in front enough to have the advantage to 8? It looks like it, but we'll see. I mean, it's about having the bravery to stick it outside as well. He seems to tuck in as well. Not able to bring it in as deep as Jackson did there, being on the inside. So he's got to kind of filter in behind again. I think a little bit more bravery from Doug, and he could get it done. But just a matter of kind of finding that extra little bit.
Well, I mean,
getting a good run through into turn 1 here though, onto the front straight, which I mean is barely a straight at all. But yeah, Doug's all over Jackson, so I think Jackson's starting to feel the pressure because Doug is not letting him off easy, that's for sure.
And I mean, kudos to him for not throwing any bald moves. He understands that we are still an hour. Never mind, he's going to throw it in the 3.
Yep, being forced outside there sucks at turn 3.
I was going to say he understands there's an hour and 21 minutes remaining.
Yeah, well,
but I guess not.
Hey, you know what? If you have the pace and you have the opportunity, you may as well do it.
You gotta do it.
And hey, you know what? If the guy in front of you is kind of running outside, turn 3 is a great spot to try to slip by on the inside because being on the outside of turn 3 is rough. It is off camber. If you wash out onto the grass, hello tire wall.
Basically just gone. Yeah.
Hello tire wall.
Joseph Yang struggle bus currently up to 16th. Joseph Yang is very much on the struggle bus today. Beep, beep. That's the sound of the struggle bus. Daniels, this battle pack for 13th is absolutely crazy.
Let's jump into that as they're... Oh, man. It's something. Let's jump in with Jason here because Lee seems to be side by side. Oh, man. Yeah, they're pulling no punches. Jason holding through the S's there, but Daniel's going to slip by into 14th and gets a really good run.
Oh, what a move.
But has to push wide there. I think it's going to compromise his line onto the front straight here. Daniel seems to come out okay. Daniel Santibanez up into 14th. Joseph Yang up into 15th. Lee Larson down into 16th place. Wow. Jason Selly seems to be the big kind of beneficiary of that with those guys battling for 14th place.
Oh, he's gone wide,
although he goes way wide.
That's not going to help.
Nope. He does seem to hold it.
Oh, here comes Daniel. There's the move. Oh, no, he goes wide, gets it to Jason. Oh, no.
Oh, man. Jason really unlucky there. Now back down to 16th place, and he was the beneficiary of them battling before, but you know, costly mistake into turn 3 and that little bit of contact. Yeah, right back down to the back of the pack, and he's gonna have to work his way back through this whole gaggle of cars here. So we'll see what happens.
And that is an unfortunate incident that happened to Jason Seeley. I'm not sure. I'd have to see it again to see if Daniel was there. It looked like he was there. But, I mean, who knows? Daniel up to 13th. Joseph Yang's up to 14th, though. He's trying for 13th.
Yeah, he's going to be side by side with Daniel here.
I can tell my man Joseph Yang. He is a desperate man right now. He has been driving the wheels off of this car, maybe making some moves that were a bit more aggressive than you should be making this early into the race. But you can tell he wants those places back. Definitely not happy about his drive-through. Whoa, almost gets into Daniel, who misses turn 9.
Yeah, it's tough there when you have to check up. Daniel kind of seems to be pushing wide at a turn 9 for the last couple laps, trying to cover off, but it's really compromising his line through 10 as he gets really loose through turn 1 there, manages to hold on, but I think Joseph is just kind of putting the pressure on, and Daniel's starting to feel it, so we'll see if he can make something happen. Let's peruse around here. Go into turn 3. Joseph having to check up there. Daniel kind of slowing him through the corner, a little cheeky move.
Really a heated battle. I mean, it's a shame the battle's for 13th, but it's certainly hot.
I mean, it looks like Thomas is actually closing the gap up front. He's less than a second now to Val up in first place. Michael Gaglione 2.2 seconds behind, so it looks like Thomas has the best pace of the race currently. So that's something. I mean, maybe we'll see a battle for the lead hot up in the next couple of laps. Joseph Yang and Daniel Santibanez side by side into turn 8. Joseph Yang going to stick it deep, and that's a textbook move.
Val's off.
Oh man! Oh
no!
Val is into the weeds.
I was just watching him. He was trying to get around the lap car of Dmitry Moshkin. Dmitry locked up.
Oh man, Val loses. Oh god, a whole.
That's big. Down to 4th.
Very unfortunate. Val doing 123.1s, and that inherits Thomas. I mean, 122.9 still, so in the 22s. Thomas was closing in on Val, but I mean, it's unfortunate that obviously Val doesn't get a fair shake at a proper kind of wheel-to-wheel battle with Thomas. But either way, that's racing, and Thomas is going to inherit that lead. Now a pretty solid lead, considering Gaglione, the next car back, is 2.4 seconds behind. Doug and Jackson Oliveira also very close to Val here. So Val's going to try to kind of work his way back through the field, and we'll see what happens there. So Doug getting a lot of air through that car.
Oh, trouble. We got a wreck in turn 5.
Daniel
Philip and Daniel got together.
And Philip getting together. Philip having a bit of a rough race to this evening. We haven't seen too much of him, but I know he's had a little bit of contact at the start and kind of throughout the race, so, you know, fortunate for him. But, you know, hopefully they just head down. I mean, it's still an hour and 16, so, you know, plenty of time to just kind of, you know, try to turn consistent laps and let the guys who make the mistakes make their mistakes and fall back and work their way through the field that way.
Doug is now battling with Jackson, who's battling with Val.
Yeah, this battle for 4th here is pretty tight. Doug
Jason
and
has gone
Jackson.
wide in a 9.
Doug and Jackson just been battling these past little while, honestly. The past entirety of the race, I guess. These two have been not giving each other an inch. Doug really kind of trying to bide his time and try to find a way around. He's gotten close a couple of times, but Jackson's done well enough to just kind of keep the door shut and prevent any big opportunities.
And to be honest, that's all you really need to do. You don't need to defend
Absolutely.
super crazy. If he gets by you, there's an hour and 15 left. It's not that bad. Phil, should be noted on that last lap, Phil Oliveira also lost it in turn 8. Dimitri has just lost it in turn 8. Turn 8's not seeming to be very nice to these drivers.
Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on there. If they're
incidents.
just kind of tipping it in and you know, either carrying too much speed or using too much brake and getting the car, you know, sideways or locking up. It's kind of a strange spot to go off in the grass there. Dimitri now rejoining the track with Laszlo, 9th place, close behind. So I imagine the next couple of turns he's going to have to yield to these guys as they get closer to him.
But he's gone off in turn 5. I don't know who it is. It's Alex Sherrod. Unfortunate.
Sitting in again with Doug and Jackson here. Very close battle. Jackson getting a little bit out of sorts, but Doug kind of struggling through 5B there and having to check up, and the gap maintains at half a second.
You guys are still going at it. This is kind of crazy. An hour 13 left.
Here, Michael Koiser and Laszlo,
Yeah, there he is.
1.1 seconds apart. That's pretty much the closest battle we have on track right now, but other than Doug and Jackson, of course. Still 4/10, 3/10 separating the cars, so it's these guys are gonna get a lot of airtime because they're just not giving each other an inch. They're really battling tooth and nail. I wonder how it's gonna affect their tires, because you know, when you're battling a car like this and really trying to push. Ooh, Doug. Oh, Jackson going off into the weeds there. Not sure what happened. I think he disconnected.
Oh no!
Oh no!
Oh no, he's back.
Oh, he's back. But
Hang on, what?
not sure what happened there. Doug did slip by on the inside there at turn 2 and got it done. It looks like Jackson had a little internet issue. Oh, they're side by side. Jackson getting ahead again. My goodness. Oh, geez.
Oh, yep.
Yes.
Cars do that. Oh, Jackson loses it in 5 for real this time, though.
Oh, man. A little bit of an off-road excursion there, and that's going to hand Doug 5th place, which, I mean, he's worked very hard for that position. And Jackson's been excellent to defend that very well. I'm sure we're going to see these two battling more as Jackson's car just crab walks and does a little bit of weird Assetto Corsa things. Let's sit in with Daniel Santibanez now and Jason Seeley now very close together. See if he can get a move done into 5 here. He's very aggressive on the brakes, trying to go on the outside. We have to check up. Absolutely. Can he get the good exit though out of 5B?
We're gonna find out.
Yeah, seems to get it. Has the draft. We'll see if it's enough by the end of the straight, or if he's brave through turn 8, if he can just kind of send it in, either on the inside or the outside. Yeah, now 2/10 going down to 1/10 as they cross under the Canadian Tire Bridge. We'll have a look inside. Jason Seeley's going to cover off, but goes wide, way wide. And Daniel's going to slip right through, but Daniel's going to push wide again. Seeley taking a whole whack ton of curve there. And, oh man, this is close battling.
Save.
Yeah, thank you, appreciate it.
This is a pretty insane. Not to forget Lee Larson, Paul Todd.
Oh, let's jump in with those boys.
Coming into 3.
Lee's going to push wide. Paul's going to slip in, use a bit of that curb there.
Not going to help him.
Oh,
Lee Larson still leads. Paul Todd, pretty established driver in the series. These guys are both what I would describe of adequate skill level. No, that sounds mean. I was trying to find the most passive aggressive way to say it. No, these guys are actually good drivers. These guys are putting on a good show. Coming out of 5. See, the key to turn 5, a lot of turn 5, not necessarily is your entry through 5A. It's really your mid corner and your exit through 5B that can make or break a few. Giuliano I think has gotten around Phil going into, as I mentioned, 5A. Phil gets sideways at 5A.
Oh, Giuliano goes too way into the weeds at 5A.
Oh.
Philip has to check up with Giuliano kind of coming on track there, and that's going to cost him. Joseph Yang into 12th. A lot of good close battles on track here. A lot of jumping around, but Joseph Yang now looking for that 11th place position for Brett Reichert. Really seems to have the pace. Brett doing 125.245s, and Joseph, a man on a mission with a 123.2 his last lap.
Joseph back up at 12th. See if we can go back to 11th. It's not quite as good as his starting position, which is something that I've forgotten.
Oh, Joseph, using, a touch of grass, cool the tires off.
He is desperate. I watched him use quite a bit of grass earlier. He is 100%
Brett's going to cover off
desperate.
the inside. I don't know if that's going to be the best line through there. Joseph's got to focus on his exit. He'll get it.
Oh,
Brett
crossover.
using
there you go.
whole whack ton of curb, and once again, Joseph slips on by. Joseph into 11th place, so quite the recovery drive from him so
Alex
far.
Imola coming down pit road.
Really, really awesome move from him there. Really taking advantage of Brett, I guess, just trying to cover off the inside. And, admittedly, a strange line into 5A. I mean, he did have the space to kind of, just take the normal line. Like, he didn't have to be that defensive and take so much inside, because it really cost him. Paul Todd slipping through Lee Larson here through turn 8, gets it done. Really nice move. No drama.
Yeah, just kind of a bread and butter move. Lee kind of let up to give him that corner. Going to the inside through 8 is if you're alongside for a while coming up the back straight, side by side through 8s, or at least being on the inside of the 8, it's not that big of a deal. But usually dive bombing to the inside of 8 does not go well.
No, it's quite perilous. And honestly, if you are running on the outside, like you are side by side, and you do decide to run side by side into 8, if you're on the outside, you really got to make sure you kind of, it's a balance, right? You want to be able to carry enough speed.
It requires skill on both
parties. It requires enough speed to maintain the outside line and still be side by side. So you got to carry more speed through that corner than the guy on the inside. Then again, you don't want to carry too much through, because it's very easy to push wide through 8 if you are on the outside. So it's really a matter of managing your entry, kind of trailing in more to try to kind of get alongside, and then you can kind of have the inside into 9. But definitely a balance. It's very easy to push wide through 8 and end up into the grass and the wall, as we've seen a couple times tonight with some drivers getting off in turn 8 there.
Larson's not quite ready to give the position to Paul Todd. Gets a run up the back straight. Not going to be quite there coming into 8.
Takes a look, but kind of, not quite there. So he's going to tuck in, and I'm sure it's going to be focused on getting a good exit out of 10 here. Turning in, Paul keeps it neat and tidy. Same with Larson here. Dan Santibana is getting past Gerald, as I think Gerald.
Oh no, Gerald's in the grass.
Hard goes wide.
No.
Through 8 once again on the grass, and goes wide again.
No, he's my pick.
Man. That's going to hurt him. I think that's going to cost him 17th, as well as Jason Steele's going to have a nice run into turn 1 here. Yeah, Gerald's just going to yield that position, and yeah, Jason Steele up into 17th. Gerald now 18th place. Oh, Jason Seeley goes wide.
Oh, why? Why?
I don't know. Let's take a look at Joseph Yang. Up here into 11th place. Michael Koiser very close, and I think he's going to have to run here on the back straight.
Milo was coming back into the pits. Did he not already stop?
They are absolutely nose. There's nothing for it. Let's see if I can get a good shot here. Michael's going to try to stick it on the outside. Can he do it? Joseph's going to have to push. Oh, Joseph. Oh, I guess he's going for his pit stop.
Joseph decided to pit.
Yeah, thought he pushed way wide there and ended up in the pits by mistake, but looks like he's going to go in for his fuel and tires.
Interesting. So these are stops 35 minutes into the race.
So Joseph
Yang. I guess that's on the pace for a 2-stop.
Very quick stop, I guess. Yeah, I guess tires don't take that long, and the fuel probably just minimal. Yeah, we'll see.
Strategy.
We'll
See how it
was a
goes.
very quick stop. I wonder if that was just tires, because it didn't seem very long at all.
Jason Seeley's in the pits. No, Jason Selly's in the pits.
Valen, actually, he's made up a lot of ground. He's fighting for third now, with Nathan Hodgins here.
Our
only
leader is in the
3/10
pits.
of a second behind. Our leader, our second place driver,
Second place is in the pits.
Nathan Hodgins stays out, and Val ducks into the pits. Oh,
that was the latest pit I have ever seen at this racetrack. Makes it in.
Jesus. Oh man, I think he just decided to do the 401 merge into the pits there. That was
Nathan regaining the lead. Tell you what, that was down and away.
And Thomas gets away clean. Jackson now to 4th place. Michael Gaglione rejoining in 5th. Brady up into 6th, so, you know, taking advantage, I guess. Brady we haven't seen much of in these last couple of races, but, I mean, he's having a pretty handy race to be that far up, you know. Even, I mean, look, almost 40 minutes in, so good for Brady here up into the top 10 positions.
Michael Kassir is in the pits. If you actually look at it, Gag's only lost a couple places in the stop. Well, yeah, during the stop, he only lost 3 places, so that's actually not that bad. So I guess that shows how short the stop is too.
Absolutely. So I guess the guys in the top 5 who haven't pitted yet.
Probably looking at a 2-stop then.
Nathan Hodgins, got Doug Newman. I don't believe Jackson pit either.
Now we're going to see if Nathan will come in this lap.
So
Is
we'll
Nathan going to try a 1-stopper? Theoretically, on paper, from my understanding, they can 0-stop. It's just that the tires would not like it at all. Nathan is not going to come in this lap. Neither is Doug Newman. Leader's out on his fresh tires. Yeah,
Nathan now doing 24.5s his last lap, so it seems like the tire fall off is pretty severe. Doug doing a 123.7, so doing really good on that worn set. We'll see now as our leading drivers on fresh tires on their flying laps now after their out laps. We'll see what they put down and see what the pace difference is. Thomas seems to be kind of gaining a lot of time on Doug though up ahead, so I'm sure this is they're gonna have very strong pace now that they have fresh rubber.
Alexander making a trip down pit road.
Yeah, Paul Todd's going to slip by now into 11th place. Oh, Matt Alexander misses his pit box. Has to hit the reverse a little bit there. Put it in reverse, Terry.
He puts it in reverse. I might have also forgotten to select something during the stop, which you can't do while you're in the box. You might have had to reverse out of the box and then come back in to do it.
It certainly do be like that.
Alexander on his way out of pit road.
Looks like he's going to rejoin in 18th place.
With a total stop time of I didn't check. As I knocked my water bottle over and give me a
total stop time of longer than the other drivers.
Yeah, as I go to check my watch and knock my water bottle over, giving me a heart attack.
Absolutely. Gaglione.
Water battle was closed.
Zooming. Really closing that gap on Jackson Oliveira. Let's see, this is a 123 flat, so a super strong lap time. He pulled 1.3 seconds on Jackson that lap. So looks like the fresh tires.
New tires are helping.
Making a big difference.
It also could be the lighter fuel load. If Jackson has not stopped yet, he might be going for the 1-stop. His car not only is going to have less or more worn tires, therefore less grippy, he's also going to weigh more. But you could also argue he's in the rhythm.
Absolutely. Coming out on cold tires, it does take some time for it to kind of, get back into the swing of things, get the tires warmed up, and then get back into that rhythm. So that is the risk you take. Val on Brady C here, come down through 4. Val getting onto the grass, a little lockup, a little contact. Oh man, very, very tight. Very locker boxing from Val and Brady C here. Val's going to get a really good exit, and I think he'll have him here before the end of that straight, but a little bit of locker boxing from these two drivers coming into 5, so some exciting stuff. Gaglione as well on Jackson. Does he get it done into 8? Not quite. He's going to have to filter in behind. Let's go back and see Val if he's going to get it done into 8. He has to go way wide. Brady's going to go deep, but I think Val's going to be able to slip in here. Yes, he does, and Brady's just going to check up, and Val gets that move done. A little bit interesting over-under through there with Brady going so deep, but gets the job done, and it works. Val now up in his 6th place.
Again by Brady for 6th place.
Let's see Gags and Jackson here again. Michael Gaglione. Very just absolutely on him. Jackson running way wide, using all of the track and then some. Gonna force
Gags
Michael Gaglione wide. Gags going wide, but he has the grip on the outside with those fresh tires. And oh my goodness, that's I don't think I've ever seen a pass like that through T3.
Around the outside in 3. I mean, if it works, it works.
That's good stuff. Good stuff from Michael Gaglione now up in a 4th.
High risk, high reward.
Absolutely, but I guess those fresh tires really do have that grip advantage over the worn set. So, absolutely, a huge move from Michael now, clearing that little bit of traffic, and now he can focus on chasing down Thomas Langille up ahead. Thomas 122.665 his last lap, so just absolutely on it. I'm sure he's going to be catching Doug in not too much time, as he has a massive pace advantage over the top 2 drivers.
Lead gap 0.8 seconds. Currently have, I believe, 21 cars in the lead lap.
Yep, not too much falling behind here. Like we said before, I guess a lot of drivers are comfortable with this track. So, you know, despite the little incidents we have, drivers, you know, typically don't have an issue getting going again and you know, kind of getting into that rhythm, that pace. Pace golf isn't as big on this track. A little bit of a pun because we're driving golfs. But pace golf isn't as light as, let's say, some of the other tracks where, you know, some drivers are more comfortable than others. Just because a lot of these drivers do have a lot of experience around here.
I've never heard of pace golf. Interesting. I'm not familiar with the term. Doug Newman is within half a second. Doug Newman is right on the back bumper of Nathan as he gets held up by lap traffic.
Let's take a look at this. I think that's going to help Thomas as well. Thomas now only 7/10 behind Doug as well. So our battle for top 3 heats up once again. Looks like Nathan might be able to slip by the lapped car there. But I don't know if Doug's going to have the same opportunity.
Doug's going to be battling with the lapped car through 8. Definitely.
Yeah, looks like that's Anthony Ho.
Gets around him, though.
Gets him around him on the inside. Anthony
Thomas
file back in. Thomas going to take the inside through as well. Those fresh tires helps him stick it, and he goes.
Pretty heads-up move from Thomas there. Gets around the lap car. Top 3 all within 2 seconds of each other. Phillip is in the pits in 21st. Back to the lead battle. Thomas is in 3rd.
Joseph Yang close to 12th on as well. We might have to check in with that battle in a little bit as well. But yeah, no, these lead cars are now very close together. Thomas obviously seems to have the advantage on the fresh tires. But I mean, we'll see what the strategy and how it unfolds, because you know it's gonna be a task to pass these 2 cars in front, especially considering we are gonna have more lap traffic as the race unfolds.
Joseph Yang has gotten around Paul Todd, now up into 11th. As it stands, through some quick, I'm gonna do some quick math to determine where the championship is for.
For sure, as we look at Thomas slipping by inside into 8, he gets the move done. Thomas up into 2nd place. I think Doug's going to yield that position. Just doesn't have the grip to stick it on the inside of the corner there, trying anything fancy. Thomas just absolutely on it. Really awesome race from him so far. No mistakes, and you know, getting the strategy right, it seems, as he goes through Nathan here, tries to make it stick on the inside. Has to check up a little bit, but he'll have the run out of turn 1 here. And we'll see what happens into turn 2. He should have enough grip to stick it. Makes it stick. Thomas, our new race leader now, up into 1st place. And, you know, with that fresh set of tires, should be able to drive away with it. As let's see now with Doug and Nathan. It looks like Doug's going to look at having to move for 2nd place as well, as he's now nose to tail with Nathan Hodgins here.
Yeah, for sure. This has been around, so I'm still tallying the points, the theoretical points.
Oh man, nose to tail through 5. That's some sketchy stuff. Doug seems to have the run and the draft. He's gonna have to make a move and make it now. Checks up actually. I wonder why he lifted there. Not sure what happened.
Oh, I'm not sure.
Val gonna get it done on Jackson Oliveira. Looks like he will. And he'll have the inside into 8. Sticks it no problem. Jackson not giving up. Not giving up yet, but he will have to check in behind. The little cheeky flash. Jackson going into the pits. And now Val up into 5th place.
But it appears that as it stands, Doug would still win the championship by 2 points.
Doug still has to pit, though, if he does choose to.
It's true. It's true.
All
on one. That's just some rough. That's just some rough arithmetic. Jackson is in the pits. Oh, trouble. Who was that? Brett just wrecked hard in turn 8 and is now spinning.
Oh goodness. I think
he's in the pits now.
That was a full-on clip. I think he lost his lap for that. Now back down to 21st.
Oh, he did. That sucks a lot. I do not even know how he had that wreck. But I'll tell you. Oh, he's in 10th. Okay. Okay, it's not that bad. Is he though? No, he's in 21st. Okay, timing's weird. Timing don't know how it works.
Timing be strange like that. Subtle course to do be like that.
I'm gonna try to move on Nathan. This just helps to further solidify.
Doug having a good pace advantage into 8. He has to kind of take it deep, but he can make it stick on the outside. It'll be inside into 9. And Nathan's going to have to check up now and kind of filter in behind and see if he can live to fight another day. Doug getting around Nathan there and into 2nd. I mean, you can see the pace gap between top 3 cars. You know, Doug and Nathan still obviously not pitting yet versus Thomas, who has pitted. Almost a 1.5 seconds. It's frankly nuts. And yeah, Gaglione, who pit as well as Thomas, he's closed that gap down now as well. So he's only 4/10 away from Nathan. And we'll take a look at his pace right now. Did a 23.2 his last lap, whereas Nathan did a 24.9. So that pace advantage of pitting seems to be paying off for these guys, for sure.
Championship is interesting. As it stands right now, Doug Newman would still win, but Gags and Val would tie for 3rd in the front-wheel drive standings. At which point the count back would go to Val, who has 1 second-place finish. It's interesting.
Very interesting. Got a gaggle of cars here. I think that's lap traffic. Randy Zimmer.
There he goes.
Yielding for these top 4 guys, kind of slipping through, battling wheel to wheel. Gags closed that gap even harder.
And while we weren't paying attention, Thomas has pulled almost a 5-second lead.
Yeah, he's been, with those fresh tires and his pace, he's just been absolutely on it, really just pulling away. And Doug and Nathan really don't seem to have an answer. Gaglione just really trying to find that gap on Nathan here. He's really trying to find that open door, maybe jump through a window, you know, any little opening he can find.
Brady is coming to the pits out of 6th. Laszlo also in the pits. Okay, so Nathan side by side going through 4. This might end in tears. 4 and 5 is not a kind corner section. Nathan's
for sure.
Gonna let him on by.
Yeah, Mike Gaglione rather, making it stick. With that extra grip seems to make a big difference when you run down through 4. I'm sure it's as the car kind of gets unloaded there as you crest that hill. I'm sure the front just understeers like absolutely crazy, especially as those tires wear down. So Mike just slipping on through without any incident whatsoever. And I'm sure he's going to be on the chase now for Doug Newman, who's only 1.5 seconds up the road. So we will see how it plays out there. I mean, Thomas just in a complete other world pace-wise. Doug doing a 1:24.439 his last lap. We'll see as he crosses the finish line where his pace is at. Let's see as he crosses the finish line. 1:24.4 for reference. Thomas Langille with a 1:22.525 his last lap.
He's going.
Absolutely on it. I
He's
mean, a
motoring.
2-second gap gain that last lap. That's frankly quite absurd. Quite absurd. Gaglione being able to close in pretty quickly. Only I saw a half second there, but still 9/10, about a second, in not too much time. So I'm sure he'll be passed in short order. As Val slipping by on the inside through turn 3 on Nathan Hodgins. Val also on fresh tires and putting in some strong laps, doing a 1:23 flat, his last one. So Val, I'm sure, is going to be chasing down Doug as well as Gaglione gets ever closer.
Another thing to note too, with that move, Gag's up to third. That now puts him second in the front wheel drive championship. There's no prize for second, but you can brag a little bit harder. Paul Todd is in the pits. What we are really trying to monitor is Doug Newman's finishing position really factors in the really I'm trying to find the word to trying to figure out how to phrase it.
It's the key differentiator, I guess.
It's the key differentiator. It is the key differentiator, and
speaking of
key
keys,
differentiator in the championship.
Speaking of keys.
Nathan Hodgins is in the pits.
What are the Volkswagen keys to the race?
The Volkswagen keys to the race are don't cheat emissions.
Awesome, yes, Dieselgate, all that.
So, yeah.
It's not
well,
good.
Well, actually, these are the gas engines, so we're fine. What else?
Don't cheat emissions. Let's see.
Do not put a Cobb's tuning port on your automobile.
Yeah.
And make sure that your mods work before you put them on your race.
For
schedule.
Sure. Stage 3 will blow your engine.
This actually is a factory Volkswagen Golf with a stage 2 Cobb's tuning port.
Exactly. That's all it is.
Yep,
the wings, yeah, and it's in a wide body. For the
no,
flex.
that comes with the ECU flash.
Yeah.
Big news. Walter B is out of the pits in 9th.
Yeah.
I wasn't gonna say Gags is trying to move on Doug Newman, but yeah. So what I was trying to say is Doug Newman's finishing place really determines how this championship finishes.
Absolutely. Gags, I think, is going to get it done. No problem through the inside there into 8. Val's going to have a look now as well as we sit in with him here. Sit inside the passenger seat as, oh man, the Val doing a 1:22.7. Doug a whole second and a bit behind his last lap. Val having to check up there, but yeah, the pace difference from those worn tires is really something. They slipped through Gerald there, blue flag car. Yeah, just something else.
And this will be pretty big because if my math is correct, which it might not be, if my math is correct, if Val can pass Doug here, Gags will take the championship lead.
Doug
and he
falling
has.
Behind there, and
there you go.
Val slipping in and getting the move done as I was queuing up some VW GTI fun facts.
Well, I mean, you gotta. Okay, so now we have a very interesting situation, as in we have a 3-way tie for first.
Gaglione, I don't know if he got into some trouble there. He had a 1:24.6 his last lap because, I mean, he's a whole 9.7 seconds behind Thomas now. Thomas having a commanding lead of this race.
It might have just been the battles or maybe getting around the lapped cars. Thomas has absolutely walked away from the field. So this is particularly interesting as we now have as it stands, we have a 3-way tie for the championship.
Ooh. Spicy.
This is unfortunate because all of my tiebreakers are based off of 2 drivers who have tied. Doug Newman is in the pits, and that blows the championship wide open.
I think Doug really just kind of getting to the end on those tires. Obviously, just way off pace-wise compared to the leading set of cars. So, you know, got to swallow your pride and, you know, change the tires, do the thing, and then get back out on track again. Do a quick stop. It seems, I don't know if he stalled it there. A little bit of a jump. I think Nathan's going to slip on by, and same with Jackson. We'll see if he gets on track in time. It's going to be close. It's going to be very close, but I think he holds on. Jackson going to slip in behind with just about 8/10 behind. So Doug, you know, not all is lost there for sure. He's only 1.6 seconds behind Nathan Hodgins there, who I believe hasn't pitted yet. So, you know, in relative to the battles on track, same strategy. not much is lost, considering Nathan has not pitted. So Doug on fresh tires, he's going to be one to watch too, pace-wise, as he's going to battle through the field.
This championship will probably go down to the wire as it stands, unless the pit cycles differentiate.
Absolutely. Lee Larson and Matt Alexander, pretty close as well, as our closest battle currently on track. Slipping on through. Lee's having a look, gets very aggressive on turn in there, carrying a whole whack ton of speed in there. Kind of choose your line through turn 2. Sit in the passenger seat here. Not sure that was one going wide. I think it was Alex Sherrod kind of yielding, using the runoff there through turn 2. Into turn 3, Matt Alexander getting a little bit out of sorts. That back end getting loose on this car a little bit, but seems to hold off there. Looks like Randy's in the pits now. Nathan Hodgins slipping by now. As well, I saw a lead change there. Not sure what happened, but he's still in 4th place. Tracker Doobie flashing for no reason as he tries to get by Phillip here. Also lap traffic. Phil's going to try to yield on the outside. Nathan's going to try to slip on through. Kind of awkward, a little awkward.
Jordan, I just want to point out something interesting as I'm still updating championships. As of we have it right now for the front-wheel drive champion, it is currently tied between Gags and Val will win on the count back.
Val very close to Gags as well, though.
Place,
only 6/10 away and chasing. Ooh, I'm not thinking it was Dimitri there that got a little bit out of sorts in the curb there.
Dimitri just about ruined his championship. Oh, thank God.
Good Lord, that could have been so much worse.
Battle's heating up. Do we want to do our usual mid-race break? The action's pretty good, but we do normally do a mid-race break.
Let's do our mid-race break. I mean, we got 43 minutes left, so
right as my pick comes into the pits.
We'll jump out. Keep an eye. In the meantime, enjoy our little ad break, and we will be back.
And this will be interesting. Val getting around Gags will help solidify his championship, but is not necessary. Ooh, Val's getting by. With that, as I mentioned, that solidifies Val's place as champion. That also bumps Gags down into 3rd, as he's now tied with Doug Newman, who wins on countback. Val might just have the pace. He's still got a long way to go if he wants the race win, which will definitely improve his overall place in the championship. Pretty much. It's going to be a tense 40 minutes and 18 seconds. Let's remind the people that is standard suspension procedure on all Golf GTIs. This is not a factor of the sim. I mean, yeah, you know. Oh, H2OI. Wow. Haven't heard that in a while. Yeah. Me on my way to what do they call it? Oktoberfest or whatever. Not actual Oktoberfest. What's the German car? It's they do it at Grand Bend. Volksfest, yeah, or something like that. Yeah, I'll tell you what. No disrespect. Yeah, for context, I drive a German car. I'm allowed to make fun of German cars because I drive one. And boy, let me tell you what. True, true. I regularly do have to tell people that I am not a Volkswagen guy. I just happen to drive one of their products. Although I am enjoying it. To you know, in its credit, I'm actually enjoying it. It's a lot of fun. Oh, the 2006 Audi A4 Avant. It's pretty good. It drives in the winter great. The only issue I have is it's got the just Volkswagen things. If when the engine is warm, its idle RPM sends a vibration throughout the entire cabin that makes it sound like it's about to stall. And I have been told via multiple sources, in person and on forums, they're like, yeah, it just does that. Like that's just a thing that it does. It has to do with the engine mounts in the A4 rather than it being in like the Jetta. I don't know, man. It's not reassuring. I don't even know if it's that. I think it's just the maybe I guess it might just idle a bit lower, or it's something to do with the actual engine mount. Oh, that's always good. Like, it makes you think about how OEM, like engineers at an OEM, do that and go, yeah, this is fine, because like the general public will go, this is not normal. I got big news. I just remembered that next week we're going to our DTM throwback race at the Hockenheim ring, and boy, let me tell you what, that's going to be really fun. Tomorrow, we're also going to have, oh yeah, it's the throwback. It's the 1988 Hockenheim. It's the big layout. I hope the big layout doesn't suck. Otherwise, we might have gaps that are measured in minutes. Oh, Demetrius crashed in the final corner. He's backed up into the wall to ensure that his premiums go up twice as much. He's gonna wait. 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 Still, he's gonna whoa. Oh no, he's gonna wait. He's gonna wait. He's gonna wait. Oh, and there you go. Oh no, he's gonna wait. Go, go. Go! Oh, there's no way he is beached. He's not even revving it. No. There's no way he is beached. Go! 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 What is he doing? This is really confusing. No, he's driving fine. He just, I don't know, maybe he didn't have a track map? He couldn't see if there was anybody coming? Well, I mean, he's going though. What a nice guy. Tell you what. Something important to note. Big development. with this car, Jordan. I can't remember if I told you. Well, actually, I didn't say it. This car does not have a shift nanny, so you can over rev your motor. You can, absolutely. I did it in practice just to test it, and I mean, yeah, it blows up. Yeah, motor blows up, all right. Probably would. Race ongoing. Race is happening. They are still battling. Very cool that every single competitor elected to use the GTI white paint. This is definitely not a side effect of the paint's not loading. I can't believe every competitor chose the same color. Yeah, I mean, you know. What? Yeah, why not? No better. Oh, I mean, I guess. That's not a Mark 1. Wow. I know I have a friend who drives a Skoda Activia, and it sucks. No, actually, it's all right. Yeah, funny how that works. Oh. Oh, really? Oh, well, congrats. I mean, I sure hope he does. Those are... Whoa! 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 Sorry, continue. He did. I was just being nice and waiting. And he gets it. Catch me get sleep. Wow. Traffic sign recognition? True. Yo, based? Don't red. Hey, remember, guys, always wear a helmet. That's true. Actually, don't. You're more likely to be injured, aren't you? No, that's if you have a roll cage. Never mind. Yeah. Which is true. It's true. You do. Yeah, don't cage your driver, your daily. Definitely buy an eBay bolt-in half cage. I'm sure those bolts won't shear when you roll it, you know, turn one at Cayuga. It's true. Roll cage. Well, I mean, you know, it do be like that. So I've just noticed something potentially big. What's your name? You know, other guy in the booth. Jordan, right? Be honest with you, I almost just called you Jason. Yeah, well, it's because I was looking at Jason's name. Wow. Anyways, Doug Newman has only stopped once. Now, he stopped later. So if he doesn't have to stop again, and Val does, he will win the front-wheel drive championship. There we go. We'll have to see. Interesting development. This all will depend on if Val stops. Maybe Val did stop earlier and is now fueled for with the intent of doing a long run rather than doing 3 short runs for the entire race. Because it'll be an interesting development to see how, if he in any way adapts his strategy for in reaction to the other guys who have stopped. Dr. Lady Thomas running second. That was stuck. Oh, why? That was the most unnecessary late pit entry. Oh, did Val just miss his box? No, he's still in it. We're good. Thomas will retake the lead. Where does Val's? That was a real short stop. Only a couple seconds. He might still come out in second. Doug's gonna get up into second. Oh, they're gonna be racing. Second. Oh man, this is Oy. That's risky. I mean, just I don't even know what to say. I mean, I was just like, that was just kind of, things are getting so intense. I'm having to go back and flip through all my calculations. This is big though. But this is big though, because as long as Doug finishes ahead of Val, he'll win it. Oh, I don't think he's gonna win it though. He might not. How he drives it through here is going to determine it. Doug holds the inside. Drifts wide a bit. Val's got to change his line. Can't get to that second apex. Ooh, almost looked like he was going to try a late dive bomb through 9. Doesn't. Doug holds him. Wow. That was a great move. Val's going to sit right on him. Down to the inside of Doug. Whoa! Doug correcting it a little bit. Now, risky move, and that might be it. That might be Doug's championship. Well, actually, hang on. Looking at the points as they stand right now, should be tied. They are tied. So, no, hang on. This still goes to Doug. This should theoretically still go to Doug, because on the count back, Doug has a win, Val doesn't. Theoretically, in order for Val to win the championship, Nathan either has to get past Doug or Val has to get past Thomas. One of these is infinitely more likely. Jackson pits out of 6th. Frees up space. The top 5 are all kind of in their own breakaway pack, especially 3rd, 4th, and 5th. Battle's heating up. Going to be a tense 23 minutes and 24 seconds. Got how to count quite briefly. The big news, the thing everybody's got their eye on, is the battle for 19th as Anthony H gets into the back of Randy and the battle ends. Back up to the front. Nathan challenging for 4th. Val has made up time on Thomas, though. He's no longer 0.1 laps down. It's now measured in a time. Never mind, not anymore. Matt Alexander is pit again. Val doing a 1:22.3, so he's making up time. That might proverbially be the last lap of the race. The issue is that I'm not able to check it. It really is. Thomas losing time to these lapped cars. Matt Alexander and Lee Larson going into 8. Oh, Matt Alexander gets into Lee. Lee saves it. Alexander's lifting off. Lee's coming in the pits. Iglioni to within a second of Doug. Remember, in order for Val to win the championship, Michael either has to get past Doug or Val has to get past Thomas. The only way it can happen, and it looks like the gap is closing slightly. All's going to be nice. Let him by. Gags trying to be in the lap traffic. He did a 1:23.6 last lap. That was 6/10 slower. He's now right on somebody. I think it was Val locking up through 3. Going on strong. Doug is losing time. Eggs right behind Doug Newman. And this is really the battle everybody's going to have to keep their eyes on. This is going to turn the championship. They've been defending hard. I think his car just weighs too much, and I think his tire's just a bit too thin. If he had to do it for 5 minutes, I'd give him some credit. 18 minutes, Doug's a great driver, but that's a pretty tall order. That's a pretty tall order. Oh, Gags looked at trying a bold move, backed out of it at the last second. Just gonna keep things clean. No, not really any lapped cars that they're gonna run into anytime. Val's run into lapped cars through 5. Really has. I think he lost a lot of time. He lost a lot of time through 5 to those lapped cars. Ooh, well, it depends on how brave he is. Oh, it looks like he's gonna. Oh, it's not done and over yet, though. He's got 9. Doug just does not have the tire. Gag's gonna get past him. Doug's gonna try back through 10. Gag loading with a good defense through 10. That might be it. That might be the battle. Gag's now almost 6 seconds behind Val. He's trying it. Oh, he gets past him. Oh, the big doors. Oh, no. They're both getting a terrible exit up the back straight. Still got time to get it. Still got time to get it back. I don't know. It looked like Doug was decently alongside there. Gags has blown the corner. He's probably just off the just off rhythm. Yeah, I was just trying to think of how to describe it. He's Gags trying to get back in the rhythm. He's caught back up. 14 minutes, 13 seconds remain. And this race, this battle, this championship is not done yet. Let's forget about Joseph Yang. He's basically up to 6th. A nice recovery drive. Yeah, I mean, yeah, honestly, keep it up. Yeah, you really, yeah, you'll have to see it, but you also hate to see it. I mean, his incident may have been on his own accord, but I don't actually 100% remember. That's true. Everybody loves a good comeback story. At least most people do. Wow. Yeah, you know, I always root for the guy who always wins. I actually don't like underdogs. Lead gap is currently huge and measured in decimals of a lap. The battle between 3rd and 4th is insane. Oh, but Doug's gonna get lapped cars coming into 4. That is about the worst place you want to get lap traffic, through 4 and 5. That is Randy. Doug's gonna get a good run. Lapped car moving off to the side. This might be interesting, because if they're still side by side going into 8, the lap car is going to affect Gags more than it's going to affect Doug, even though Gags seems to be getting the draft. Looks like he's going to get clear of the lapped car, so that won't be a factor. Randy might become a factor coming through 10, but now Gags is right in the back bumper of Doug because of that draft and the wobble coming out of 5. This is going down to the wire. 11 minutes and 16 seconds left. This is oh, he gets by. Randy is not one of the, unfortunately, Randy's not one of the fastest drivers in this league, but he is one of the nicest, and he definitely knows how to get out of the way. So, to his credit, letting both cars by so he can ensure the battle goes on. We thank Randy for that. Randy generally just Randy actually used to race around here. A little bit of a fun fact. Randy used to race Can-Am around here in the 70s. I don't mean to date you, Randy. I apologize, but yeah. I would argue Randy is not one of the fastest, but he's probably having the most fun. He certainly is the most fun. But we've got a big development, Jordan, as 9th and 10th, the battle between Michael Kassir and Laszlo is currently Thomas is trying to get around them. That's gonna back him up to Val. And it'll get interesting. Remember, Val This is there's so many different angles to look at this. If Val gets past Thomas, he wins the front wheel drive championship. If Gags gets past Newman, Val wins the front wheel drive championship. As it stands right now, if nothing changes, Doug wins it. Yeah, it's I do not envy Doug Newman's position particularly right now. He's probably not having fun right now. He's having fun, but he's not having fun. Yeah. Big blocks. Fair blocks. Gags maybe gonna try the outside of the 3. No, maybe. No. Not quite. Yes. About 8 different. Well, I just don't. He just couldn't get there. Like using a bit of the grass through 4. That's kind of a bold strategy. Here comes looking to get side by side, some overlap coming through 7 now. He's there. He's just got to hold on to it. He got around him, but it's not done yet. With a crossover. Oh no! Might have been a bit of contact. Woo! Some hard racing for 3rd. I don't think Gaglione quite understands the ramification of this move, as Doug Newman is back in 4th. That will make Val champion. I mean, the front wheel drive class. It'll be interesting to see how hard Doug's willing to race him back. No, we're not even halfway done. I also love that our non-points round is basically Valentine's Day weekend. It's kind of funny. Nothing better to celebrate Valentine's Day with than sim racing. Yeah. No, it's not. Mine's iRacing. Hey, Leone runs third. Sorry, what were you gonna say? What were you gonna say something? Oh, that's true. That's fair. Val is 2 seconds behind Thomas. Thomas appears to be falling off a touch. No, he seems to be struggling real hard. I think he's hit the cliff. That car is not driving well. Interesting to note. Joseph Yang got back up into 6th, but now he's gonna have to stop. He might lose a couple places. Yeah, it might just be a splash. He's gonna come out in 8th. Yeah, looks like it was just a splash, just not enough fuel. Unfortunate. But an 8th place is still a solid finish. Yeah, Doug might have just driven his tires a bit too hard to defend that spot, and coming up just short. Our lead gap down to 1.3 seconds. Val is catching him. I was looking to see if Thomas was fuel saving. I don't think he's fuel saving. I think he's just... Yeah. Try to see if... Just might be. I gotta see. It doesn't look like Thomas is fuel saving anyway. It might just be that the tires are going off. I just used his stuff up a bit too early to try and pull out a gap. Val might have just done a better job at saving it. Look, should be 2 to go. Val within a second now, coming through 2. Oh, okay. Yeah, it's definitely an interesting development to see how things go. You're muted, by the way. Weird. Anyway.
Weird. Anyways.
Be unmuted.
I am unmuted. I may have been muted since the break. But anyways.
Oh, you hate to see it.
You hate to see it. Oh my God.
Terrible news.
We've ruined the stream.
Thomas half a second in front of Val, coming through 2 now. It's going to be coming through 2 for the last time. Thomas maybe getting a bit loose on exit, comes down through 3. Half a second between them. This lapped car might get in the way. Is this lap car going to be in the way in 5? Because that might change everything about this battle.
Absolutely. Val now 5/10 and closing. So last lap, things are hotting up. You know, we got 15, 14, 13.
He's right there.
He's
Bill's
right
got wide,
there.
gonna let him by.
Philip, ooh, really tight.
Val way hugging his door.
He's
Racing up the back straight.
trying to get the side draft there.
Time has expired. This will be the last lap.
Yeah, Val absolutely on it. Seems to be closing the gap to Thomas. Now he has 3 corners left. I mean, I guess this is technically a corner. 3 corners left now.
Val's right there. Somebody's gone off in front of them. Never mind. Is Val going to do the turn 10 send? It usually doesn't end well, but it might be his only chance. Not going to get it. Thomas might win it. Oh, Thomas with a bad exit. Let's see how it goes.
Oh, get on the grass there. Elbows out.
Thomas is
Thomas
just going to hold
get
on
the
to
victory. Val
by
being able to close it at
2/10 of a
2/10 at
second.
the end. I mean, Thomas with a 10-second lead when Val got out of the pits, I think, initially. When they reshuffled. Gaglione going to come home in 3rd place. Doug Newman in 4th.
Newman coming home in 4th. That should be it for Val. He might be our front-wheel drive champion. Wait, let me double check and verify it right now. Assume pending no other penalties. Obviously. Let's figure it out. Yep. There is pending no other penalties. Val DiPietro is our front-wheel drive champion. And I'll tell you what a good race, Thomas. Oh, Brady and Joseph aren't done with it. They're going to be drag racing out of turn 10. Brady just behind by 2/10 of a second. Lose that to Joseph Yang. And I'll tell you what, just a great race.
Yeah, very, very close. A lot of very close battles throughout the entire race. Brilliant battle between Mike Gaglione and Doug Newman throughout the latter 20-25 minutes.
Really a great battle all throughout. Yeah, pretty much a great battle throughout almost the entire field.
Absolutely, we saw some battles for 12th. They were going 3-4 wide through there. So a lot of battles in their respective packs. A lot of close racing right till the end, and exciting finish as well. With Val being able to close in a huge amount of time to Thomas, where it seemed that Thomas was really going to walk away with it. Val was able to kind of close in and finish within 2/10, which I don't think either of us expected within the last 10 minutes of the race. So
absolutely,
yeah, very, very exciting. A lot of fun here at CTMP. Should we grab our race?
I'm gonna drag Thomas in right now. Thomas, you're in the booth now.
Oh,
sorry,
hello.
in the middle of a conversation. You won the race. Congratulations, sir.
Thank you very much.
How was it?
It was kind of like a just don't think about it, just keep driving race.
Oh, really?
Like in the beginning, I caught up past Hodge and Mike, and then sadly Val got knocked off the track, and so I attained the lead, and I just had to just keep consistent laps.
You had a little bit of a tangle there, I guess, with traffic near the end, and Val was able to close in quite a bit of time. Can you tell us about what happened there?
Laszlo and Michael were fighting for 10th and 11th, Michael Cozier, and so like I wanted them to fight for a bit, and then after they were fighting for one lap, the second lap I was like, okay, now can I go by now? The pass has been made. And maybe I gave up too much time to Val, and I almost wanted to give it to him at the end too, because he only lost because he got knocked out, and then he fucking mega drove back. So
yeah, it was a great drive with him. He's doing absolute stormers of laps. Although you had the pace like over everybody, through a vast majority of that race. So no, good job, man. You really drove a really strong race, kept it consistent, no mistakes, and that's why you won today.
It was nice. It was good. I think around lap 60, I lost it a little bit and was losing 0.2, 0.3 here and there, and I was like, uh-oh. But I pulled it back, yeah.
There you go. Get in. You got that win. Did you enjoy the car and track? Are you looking forward to next week?
I did enjoy the car and track. We've driven TCRs Wednesday nights, Monday nights, so I had a lot of practice in this car outside of the server.
Well, there you go. Practice always makes perfect. Thanks for coming out, Thomas.
Thank you very much for hosting.
No problem. Anytime. That was Thomas' second interview with Val. I don't even know if he knows he's champion yet. I've dragged him into the wrong voice chat. Whoops. Val, you're here. Val, you finished second, but more importantly, you have won the front-wheel drive championship, Val. Congratulations.
Oh, I'm kind of glad. I was kind of sweating a little bit because of how close Doug was and how fierce of a battle Doug and Michael were having.
Absolutely. It was a pretty crazy battle. What was it? What was the race like from your perspective? I know you had some contact. I know you had some good passes.
Yeah, it was a heartbreaker for me. I don't know how else to put it.
Yeah, pretty much. Did you enjoy the car? Enjoy the track? Did you do the 2-stop strategy or the 1-stop?
I was in a 2-stop strategy.
Okay. How did it feel? Do you think you had advantage over the 1-stop guys? Did the 1-stop guys
Yeah,
actually
I
have an
think the
advantage?
fastest 1-stop was Doug. And at some point in the race, when I checked my dash, it said the car behind was 15 seconds, and we had figured out that a stop for tires cost about 15 seconds, and that was with, a significant part of the race still to go. So we were going to get fresh tires, come out, or I was going to get fresh tires, come out in front of Doug, and then be able to just truck away from him with those fresh tires.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the battle with him and Michael Gaglione was super exciting. I mean, he did the best that he could to
Yep.
hold Mike off for, I mean, honestly,
Doug's
way
wily.
too long. Way too
Doug's
long,
very
frankly.
wily.
So really, really good job from him. But yeah, no, absolutely at the end, that one-stop strategy, you don't have the tires, right? So after a certain
Yep.
point, Michael was able to take advantage of an opportunity to slip on by, and yeah, I mean, once you do get by, then there's no battling back, right? Like you're on worn
Yeah.
tires, and that's it.
Yeah.
He drives away, right? So I
Yeah.
mean, it was definitely brave of him, and an interesting strategy for sure, and trying to take advantage. But I guess obviously with the short pit stop times of this VW, anyways, then obviously taking
Yeah.
taking the
The
tires and the fuel, it
the
doesn't really
mechanic
hurt you too much.
animations are like in fast forward. When you stop for first person, they're going real fast. And
Yeah,
like
it's
props
the
to Michael and Doug, because like once the race was over, like the vibe in the voice chat, like they loved every minute of it.
Yeah, they were
That's good.
absolute wheel to wheel. It was pretty nuts, but yeah. Shout out to the mechanics of those TCR cars with their
Mm.
unlimited supply of amphetamines, getting those tires changed real
Allegedly.
quick. Allegedly.
Love to see it. All right, Val, thanks for coming out. You looking forward to next week?
I forgot. Oh, I think next week is
It's
the
DTM.
DTM. Yeah,
DTM
that looks
88
Sir.
Hockenheim.
good.
It's gonna be
Yes,
good.
Let's
sir.
go.
Alrighty. Have fun.
Thanks again.
No problem.
Now let's grab
Val,
Gags and Doug if we can both grab them. I know Doug is
I'm gonna
muted.
break. Gags is here now. Doug is now undeafened.
Hello.
Gags, you finished third. How was it, buddy?
That was the most intense race I think I've ever had.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy.
Yeah, it was something else, and I knew I was kind of in trouble when I looked at the gaps, and obviously Val, Thomas, and I were running a 2-stop strategy, and I knew looking at the gaps, I was like, I'm gonna come out behind Nathan and Doug, so I knew I was gonna have like everything to do in the last 30 minutes.
For sure. I mean, you managed to dispatch Nathan without too much trouble. Doug, you gave Mike a hell of a lot more trouble.
Yeah, I mean, I put myself in that position, and I had to kind of forcefully take the 1-stop, even though the 2-stop seemed like it was better, just because he had better tires.
Yeah, how did the one-stop
But,
feel? How are your tires near the end?
Oof.
Yeah.
I mean, I was pretty consistent, and I think the only reason I was very consistent is I was unable to maximize the tires because I fell back at the start. I was going to neutral drop like everybody else, and I just forgot to grab first gear, so I went backwards a ways. And I didn't qualify as well as I was hoping, considering my lap times on the server. So it just kind of fell apart. And then it was one of those things. I just,
I mean,
just try
considering
and
the
be
unfavorable
consistent.
strategy and what have you in the unlucky start, I mean, fourth place, and honestly being able to kind of hold your own with Mike that long, considering Mike was on fresh
It's
tires.
wild.
Yeah.
It was wild.
Honestly,
It's,
like we were enamored, like in the booth, just watching, like the defensive, just you're just parking the bus, you just.
yeah.
Yeah,
The
Michael
pace is one
caught
thing,
me.
but making it stick, getting the pass to stick is a whole other thing entirely. So, I mean,
Yeah,
Yeah.
Michael did catch me.
Yeah, he
catch
did.
me.
He
And
did.
by
Like at
the
the end,
time
it
he
was
did catch me, my tires are going yellow, and I'm like,
yeah, I'm
this is the
sure.
perfect time.
Yeah, because like,
Yeah.
we were like, okay, like because you finally got by through 8, and it's like you got it on the outside, made it stick. We're like, okay, like and then we're like, oh yeah, like all right, Doug's like still close, and then like the next clap is like, no, he's gone.
Yeah,
it was,
I tried to keep it like over under down the pit straight and go for
Yeah.
the inside, but he knew it was coming, so he definitely squeezed pretty good. So
No,
there,
for
there
sure.
wasn't
It
much
was-
after that.
I
It was
gave
over
you-
after that
I gave
point.
you a bit of a squeeze.
Yeah, it was good
I
against
was-
the pit wall there. It was cheeky.
Yeah, like I don't know what you guys saw, but the battle with Michael was good. The battle with Jackson was
Yeah, the battle
also
with you and
good.
Jackson was great as well.
Michael, Kosier.
Yep.
The battle with him was good. We just came together. I definitely had a good run at the
Mhm.
top of 2, and just being on the outside, I think he tried to turn in a little early, and we just made a little bit of contact. And I think just over that corner, you're right at the limit, anyways. And
In,
I feel
in
bad for him
Kozier's
because
defense, he's running on a monitor that's very far away. He's got visibility issues, so
yeah, I
he
think it
showed
was
us
just
his
one of
setup.
those things. It's
Yeah.
that is racing.
That's sim racing
Sucks
for
that
you.
we came together, but I
Oh,
feel
there you
good that I'm in 4th. I think my goal is on track. I'm upset I didn't get the front wheel drive thing. I think Val definitely deserved it. He had a good race.
Well, I'll tell you what, you can still go for the rear wheel drive championship or the overall championship.
I mean, Val is a machine, which I'm sure you guys know.
Yes.
Pretty tough to beat. So
Absolutely, but both
we'll
of
see
you are
what
still in
happens.
contention, so head
Yeah.
down
Oh,
on
And
next
absolutely.
week.
I feel so good taking pole away from Val. That's like a huge.
Oh man, right at
That's
the end,
a
that was
huge
so
win.
good. Right at the
Especially
end too.
'cause
I was waiting for him
fastest-
to just straight line you turn 1. Like, just,
I did try to race him. Like he obviously had pace clearly. Like even when we were on dead even tires, and as soon as he got in front of me, he pulled away. But like it's so gratifying to have taken that from him because he was always faster, and that's also his home track. So
there you go. Get dunked on.
yeah, take that, Val.
Oh man, we got
You guys
beef.
looking forward to
All right.
next week?
Oh
Yeah.
yeah,
We got
What is it?
DTM. We got the Mercedes
so
Evo
stoked
at
about this.
Hockenheim. 88 Hockenheim.
Oh,
so-
okay, that'll be good. That'll
Yeah.
be really good.
I'm
Good
so
choice.
stoked.
Yeah, it should be a lot of fun. At least I hope it is, because I chose it.
Good stuff.
Alrighty. Well, thanks for coming out, guys. Have a good one.
Cheers.
Yep.
Alright, that's them. Alright, yeah, that's pretty much it. Jordan, you have anything else to say? Otherwise, that's kind of our broadcast.
Yeah, absolutely. Just want to thank everybody for coming out, watching us do laps around CTMP with these drivers. Obviously, really exciting race tonight. So we thank you for joining us. We want to thank our sponsors, of course. We want to thank Hip Motorsports, 13
Yeah,
Motorsports, Jarena Garage, and of course Ontario Tomtac.
I got something before we end the broadcast.
oh,
Remember,
yeah.
tomorrow or next week rather, we
Go
will
ahead.
be giving out some more updates about the wild card week and the raffles we'll be doing. For people
Absolutely.
watching and for our competitors.
Yeah, so look out for
That'll
that.
be pretty good. Alrighty, that's all for me.
Great. So I guess on behalf of myself, Jordan Mazzulli, as well as Josh Cronin here
Hello.
in the booth, we want to thank you guys for coming out, watching the race with us, and we will see you all next week. Thank you so much, and take care.
Thanks for coming out, everybody. Have a good week.